Hello and welcome to another installment of Comparative Reasoning. I'm your host, Sidra Kennedy, and today I'm going to be blasting so-called progressives because I have a question, and you've already seen the title. But the question is, are Republicans more progressive than progressives? And the reason I'm asking this is because it has been far too long of people that are more forward thinking than the two-party system has been acting, not doing anything that they notice. And what I mean by that is, you know that both sides are corrupt. You know both sides are in for the money and their legacy, okay? You know that. That's it. That's why there is no way to take over the parties properly. It takes a wave, but by the time that person, you run for your office, then you win that seat. But every corporatist around you will not give you the time of day nor open respect. They won't do it until you start to play the game properly, until you start doing things their way. You can keep your ideas. It's nice, it's cute, but they're in it to make money. They don't want to be broke. They don't want to be poor. They are capitalists through and through. Nobody makes money if they are helping other people. Because to help other people, you're going to have to give money. No one got rich giving their money away. So hoarding what you can, not paying taxes as much as you can, and getting the people to buy your stuff without giving them anything back, not even good service on how to fix said stuff. That's how they keep their money flowing. That's what they do. You've got both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, both corporatists, both capitalist parties in general. So no matter how the Republicans trash talk the Democrats and the Democrats say nothing, but the Democrats are not for Republicans, the Democrats are just as much of a capitalist as the Republicans. So where do you fall on that? That means all your issues mean nothing unless it makes them money. That's what goes on. And this will never change, ever. And I hate to break this news to you like this, but it will never change because progressive media, I am starting to think, is outright not progressive. They're just old school Democrats saying what the old school Democrats would say 30 years ago. However, the establishment Democrats have gotten so Republican that these social media elites, their supporters, can call themselves progressives when they're not. I am the guy, because people like to ask that really dumb question, who do you think you are? I am that guy that wants you to have a better life. I am that guy that wants to hold you accountable for your actions and inactions so that you can understand what you're doing, so you can look in that mirror, make that change, and do it right so that the wool isn't over your eyes. I could analyze politics, but that's not going to help you. That'll get you to nod your head, go, that's right, and then you've got nothing to go on. You have no power when all people do is spoon feed you what you want to hear and give you nothing to help you. That is the cycle. Tell you what you want to hear, but give you nothing in return. So you can give them the views. You can give them your money. You can give them all of your time and day and all your comments, and you can spread the word of them. But what have they done other than keep you where you are? What is the point? And you want me to give you a grand example other than the life you're living? Fine. I'm going to play this clip. It might be a little long, about 2 minutes maybe. But this is Farron Cousins. And the title of the video is Democrats Have Handed Republicans the Keys to Their Party. You can watch the whole thing. It's 7 minutes, 3 seconds. And the reporting is accurate. But Farron Cousins, just like every other establishment media, every other progressive channel out there on YouTube, and I could be burning a whole lot of bridges that's never been built, but there's a reason why we can't get better. And this is a prime example of it. And I guarantee it. And I'll break it down and explain it afterwards. If you want a little bit of analysis, here we go.
But there's nobody out there right now that wants to make your life better. Or at least no viable party that wants to make your life better. And I'm sorry if that insults any Green Party people watching this. I love the Green Party. You have the best platform I've ever seen from any party this year. You also have a candidate who is a complete joke and a laughingstock and not a serious candidate for a serious party. You did that to yourselves. That was a dumb decision. Howie Hawkins is a joke. Sorry, I don't know you personally, Howie. I'm sure you're a great guy. But as a candidate, as a political candidate, you're a joke. You have run for office 24 times. 24 times. Everything from governor of New York to local city council. 24 times, folks. Lost every time. Has never won an election. And that's the person the Green Party chose to put up as their presidential candidate. And that's disappointing. But what's even more disappointing is the fact that the Democratic Party is handing the keys of the party over to the Republicans right now.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. So, yeah, if you could follow that, hopefully you could hear it. I had my speakers turned down, so I had to really lean in a little bit, but hope the mic didn't pick it up. Okay, Howie Hawkins. I think that's what he said his name was. I've never heard of the guy. I've never heard of him. Have you? Have you heard of this person or anyone else from the Green Party? Have you? And if you haven't, think about all the media you consume. Which one of them mentioned them? How are you going to win a race when nobody talks about you? How? How are you going to rise and get noticed on social media if nobody shares and talks about you? That's the problem. See, Republicans, what do? They tell you exactly how to be afraid. They tell you that they're going to do for you by giving to the corporations. They're going to tell you that they're going to do for you by cutting regulations. That's what they do. The people get nothing out of it, but they feel safe that the Mexicans and the black people, they feel safe that the people that aren't even paying them any attention, can't come and steal from them, rape them, or kidnap them, or hurt them in any way in all this. They're happy that transgender people that don't use certain restrooms don't go in those restrooms. They're even concerned with who goes and pee. Now, when you can get someone to be afraid of somebody urinating in an area that's not yours or in your direction, and they can feel safe from somebody using a urinal, you've really done well. You've really amped up your grip really well, and they deserve an award for that. Because I've never been afraid if somebody walks in into a public bathroom and pees, but they've got people afraid of that, and they disguise it with the whole, you're going to get raped. Your children are going to get raped. It went from the person to the children because they knew what would get to them. And the progressives know what will get to you. Oh, the Republicans, they're hateful. They're misogynist. They're xenophobic. They're full of hate. So there's no need to vote for them. Fair enough. The Democrats, they haven't done anything for you in 40 years. And they lie, and they work with the corporatists, and they are clearly out of touch. And they're working with 1980 and 1990 politics when we're in a new age. Fair enough. Now, what have progressive given you? Have they told you who to vote for? Did they tell you who was running that's opposed to these people? No. The only people that they're going to talk about is anyone that runs in the Democratic circle and gets popular. They're not going to help boost anyone up. They only boost those who have already put themselves in the area to make it. AOC, nobody heard of her, no one cared about her. She got popular enough. And then they said, we're going to jump on that. Why? Because if they're talking about who's popular, that means they're going to get the views. And if they get the views, they get the money, they get the notoriety, and their legacy as social media giants can stay secured. It's all a grift. And see, the Green Party, I would vote for them quick. Why? I don't know anyone there. And the Green Party was built on progressiveness. And a party built on progressiveness, not supported by progressives, there's clearly something wrong. And you know what's wrong? It's the belief system. The belief system of these Green Party people being a throwaway vote, not being worthwhile. Let me tell you something about this mess. All right? I don't trust progressive media that much. I really don't. I don't give anyone above 95% trust, because there's always someone or some percentage of them that's going to jack things up. But I'm supposed to be clearing the fog. That's my duty. That's my job. That's the point of making comparative reasoning. There are things outside your scope, outside your thought level, that you aren't going to want to try to see because it goes against your complacency. And I get that. But if you rather be complacent than actual progressive, if you rather be complacent than healthy, if you rather be complacent, instead of well off financially, then you are a problem to yourself, to those around you, and those you will never ever see or meet. Because your views on what is and is not viable or worthwhile translates into your vote, into your rhetoric, meaning your conversations, and into everything you see and do and the places you go and stay. That's what happens. And so I'm not here to baby you. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what's really going on to the best of my understanding, just like any decent person needs to do. Progressives aren't progressives. They are embarrassed. They don't want to stick their neck out for things that's already been demonized. They're scary people. And I don't mean scary as in deadly. No, they're some scary people as in they scared of everything. They're mice in front of a lion. They're you in front of anything that these parties tell you to be afraid of. If you see a big rolling fog coming down at you, what are you going to do? Are you going to be like, yay, this is possibly a change? I mean, it's been so dry that no one could possibly think or drink, people are just laying on the street. They just don't have anything left in them. It's too dry. And that fog is moisture. But you see it and then you fight it. Some fog is needed. Too much, and you get where we are today. You can drink your water, that's fine. But you don't necessarily need the Kool-Aid now, do you? I'm just saying. These Republicans, these progressives, these Democrats, they are no different. They are no different than what those people are out there that's on both of those sides. Even progressive people I've heard make the argument that, all black people on food stamps, they don't work, they have to be women, and they don't have jobs. And their children will never have fathers, but they keep having multiple fathers. The fathers will never be in the home, and they will always be unwed. They're just whores, sucking off the government teat. You know, the Hispanic people just want to come over here, take everybody's job, get paid under the table through the taxes and whatnot, take everybody's money, ruin everybody's lifestyle, lower everyone's property value, and then go back to their country and get rich off of us. That's what everyone believes. Just because you might be one that's like, look, I don't believe that. I think that's dumb. Yeah, okay. Now, can you elevate your game and see what I'm talking about? And then, more important than that, not only see and understand what I'm talking about, but then act like you do. When you talk to your friends and family or anyone or leave comments somewhere, and all you're going to do is say, Republicans suck, and then explain why, or I don't like these Democrats, but then you're going to turn your back to an actual other party. The reason the Green Party isn't viable is because everyone listened to anyone on TV and any media back in the day demonized the Green Party because the Green Party showed up and was a threat. It was a direct threat. It was out there. No one gave a damn. But then when they started rising in the polls because they had a better idea, a forward-thinking idea that went against all the corporate stuff, then the Democrats and Republicans jumped on them. When Justice Democrats got started and they started pumping out some of these, progressive candidates to infiltrate the Democratic Party, a failing social party, then the Republicans and the Democrats jumped on those people. And the Republicans called them the squad. And then we have to run with it. They still dictate what we do and what we call our own. Really? Because it's not our own. Because even those progressives, they don't call out other progressives, supposedly progressives, that's going to actually do the job too. They don't call them out and say boost them up. If you are a true progressive, you're not trying to work within your own and boost your own. You will look anywhere that's going to be positive, forward thinking, and helpful for the country, for every U.S. inhabitant, not just your own party. You're not going to sit here and only boast about those that's going to make you a little more popular. You're not going to care about zingers here and there. You're not going to get on the floor and argue at people about some bad stuff that happened to you, argue to the people that don't even care what happened to you. They all know what happened. They saw it. Some of them was there to do it. And they don't care. So all that talk ain't nothing. It's just you scoring brownie points with the people. Okay, yeah, progressives can talk about, why men suck and men are in control and women should be, happy to vote for them as a woman. Well, now you got that manipulation going. Can you hear it? Can you understand it? They can talk about men should be in charge because men are strong and we've always led, yada, yada, yada. And the men are like, yeah. Come on, can you hear it? You can't be that weak-minded. You can't be. You've lived this long. Something in you has some survivability. This is part of that. This is part of it. Can you hear it? Your children need better education all around. And we're going to talk about education. And people need to have access to better education. So where is it? Come on, can you hear me? They can talk that talk, but then you try to walk their talk and gain no footing, no ground. And say, well, I've walked 1,000,000 miles. Why have I not seen any different scenery? That's because you haven't changed what you're looking at. You have got to open your ears, your eyes, your mind, and look at what you are taking in and say, this is not right. Hold them to a higher standard. Elevate your standard, elevate your game, and then force them to level up, since that's all they want to do. If you're not going to change what you're looking at, then you got to really fight hard to make them give you better than what they've been giving you. That's what I want from you. Elevate your standards and elevate everyone around you. Please, like I said, share this. Tell people about this. And I don't mean the video, I mean the message. if you're too embarrassed, because that's some weakness on your own, if you're too embarrassed to leave a comment on my channel, too embarrassed to suggest people come to me unless I call you out on your own show, if you're too embarrassed to just mention me as somebody that's trying to do better, fine. I don't like it. I find it weak. I find it outright disgusting. But then again, that's been my whole life, so I'm used to it, truthfully. It ain't gonna hurt me. I just think it's weak and nasty. Just get the message out. Elevate your standards. Look at what these people are telling you and promise you and then not delivering. Who's not talking about what party and why? Everyone has a reason to not do the libertarian thing, the Libertarian Party, because they've proven to be just Republicans. And they got just as much hatred in them as any other party. But the Green Party, in all honesty, I want you to find a slew of rape allegations, women. I want you women to also find where they've been trying to control your bodies. I want you women to find where they promise you one thing about your laws and safety and your rights and then just don't do anything because, I don't know, they just couldn't get it done. Find it. Find whether, now I'm sure, yeah, look, if you got people, you're going to have some racism. That's just, it sucks. But that's just how it is for now. But name how the Green Party's been racist, sexist, misogynist. Oh, wait, the Green Party ran Jill Stein. You didn't like her. You didn't even know about her. Probably didn't even know too much about her. And she probably wouldn't be that great. But you have to even ask yourself, why would she not have been? And it can't be what you were told. You've got to find that out on yourself. Look her up, research her. Matter of fact, research anyone that's running on the Green Party. Why not? You don't want to throw your vote away? Why? If you don't throw your vote to a new party, you're literally voting to throw your life away. If you can't see that by now, then what must it take? Stop being afraid. Stop being embarrassed. And stop listening to people like Farron Cousins, who is outright, just like TYT and others, damn the people that they've had on from the Green Party, but those that will sit here and not even mention the Green Party and tell you to look into them and vote for them if you can, and then get mad when the ones that they are left with go corporate and greedy and don't give a damn about them, you, or anyone else. That is the most pathetic thing I keep hearing. Don't vote for the Green Party. They're a joke. They keep running and losing, and we're not going to support them. So they just keep running and losing, and they're weak, and they're feckless, and they're vanity. Just like every Mexican is a rapist. Just like every black person is on welfare and fatherless. Just like every white person is well-to-do and okay, and they're the better race by genetics. Just like every Asian is just perfect in math, and no one gives a damn about anything else. All of these stereotypes. Atheists are evil, sinners, and they just want to sin. Religious people are awesome and good, so long as you're in the same religion. If you're not, then you're wrong. We have got to elevate our thinking, people. It starts with you, yourself, in that mirror, and then could have the conviction, the temerity, and the power to say, I am going to do a little research. Ecosia, just look up stuff. It's a damn great search engine that's not linked to anyone that's stolen money from you or ruined every YouTube channel and propped up every corporation. Try it. You know, if you really hate this fascism, you really hate this dictatorship, you really hate the corporate media, you really hate, how YouTube and Google has jacked things up, try Ecosia. Simple, easy, ecosia.org. And if they turn out to be jacked up, you know what? There are others out there. I will drop them like a bad damn habit. It's that simple. It's Halloween, everyone. It's time for you to take your masks off just for a moment and see how it really feels to take that fog away from your eyes, that mask from over your face, and say, wow, the real me is a lot better. Find it. Find it. This is a little reversal here. Find you. Because Farron Cousins and the others, they ain't looking out for you. They got money now. They can't afford all that they want, and they're struggling, yeah. They're just struggling on a different level. I'm trying to help you. Will you let me? This has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.